Hi, welcome to Playtime Podcast episode 14. It's summer of 26. We're in the final stages of the Football World Cup. Cape Verde nearly beat Argentina. Would have been amazing. I'm still recovering from seeing the film Project Hail Mary, which is beautiful. And in this episode, we've got an interview with the wonderful Bill Wells and the wonderful Danielle Price, which was done after the gig. The gig is, by the time this comes out, will be online, so you can watch it on YouTube. And I think it's a really great representation of Bill's music and the love in the room for him and his vibe, you know, and it was a really, really lovely gig. So please go and check it out. I think Bill's a really special composer and musician, and he's been sort of ignored by a lot of the Scottish jazz establishment throughout his career, which, you know, it's just one of those things. So please go and check out the gig, and I hope you enjoy this conversation. Coming up, we've got a panel discussion on the future of the Scottish jazz scene with Fergus McCready, Sue McKenzie, and Hafta Medbo. That'll probably be the next episode. And there's another panel discussion coming up, which we're recording in August on the same topic. And I'm waiting for two special guests to join me just now because we've got an important announcement to make. Welcome to episode 14 of the Playtime Podcast, Mario.
Hello, Tom. Thank you. Welcome. What a pleasure. Episode 14. Who thought we would get that far?
Well, maybe we won't even. Who knows? I think someone's just arrived. Who could this be? Hey!
Look at that.
Where are you?
How's it going?
Good. Where are you?
I'm in a train station in Aberdeen.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks a lot for coming on, Graham. I know you're traveling, so it must be a bit of a pain in the ass. So,
It's not at all, man.
So we're here to say thank you to Marty, because Marty's leaving Playtime after 12 years, and we wanted to say thanks for him because he started with you, didn't he, Graham?
Yeah, man. What was that? 20 years ago.
Something like that.
We were just young boys.
Yeah, no grey hair.
No. Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy that. Yeah, it was great, man. You know, awesome, Martin, beautiful.
And
gonna miss Martin loads.
We're gonna miss him loads. So I think we all just want to say thank you to Marty for everything he's done.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Marty.
Yeah, nice of Martin.
All right, G.
See you later.
That's
What
great.
journey?
It was a real blow to lose Martin. Martin was our leader, so as you said so many times in so many ways, and I really wish that he was still with us, but people's journeys are people's journeys, and they take them where they take them. I enjoyed playing these 12 years with Martin and listening to his music, and his playing is hugely inspirational. And I thought we as a quartet had a musical chemistry that it's hard to find, elsewhere. And it's really, it was a real honor to play with him, and I wish we would still be together, but unfortunately it's not to be.
Well, I think, and also change is good, you know.
Yes.
So we've been doing it a long time, so yeah, totally.
Change is the only constant, and since that was his decision, I'll respect his decision, and I'll miss him.
Yeah, me too. Well, best of luck to Marty, and thanks very much for everything. And time to move on to the next phase. Currently as a trio, and we'll see where we go.
We'll see where we go.
All right, man.
All right.
Thank you for that. Welcome to the Playtime podcast, Danielle and Bill.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
It's a great pleasure. Where are you?
We're in my flat in Glasgow.
And is that a genuine cornice behind you, or is that like a fake one on Zoom, like background? It's a very beautiful ceiling.
I think it's legit.
I think I think so. Yeah, I think so.
That's the real thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Quite a high ceiling, one of these flats.
So we obviously have done the gig already. How, and looking back on the gig, how was it for you guys?
Want to go first?
I will have to find it very difficult to judge being in the middle of it all. But having listened back to the recording, I think it's really scrappy, but there's more good stuff than there's, bad.
Wow,
You heard it here first.
it's difficult to really know what to say. Well, that's definitely what's going to go on the album cover, isn't it? Definitely more good than bad.
Yeah.
No, by quite a percent, I would say. I mean, it's like,
How was it as an experience, though? As an actual experience.
As an experience, it was hellish.
I had a great time. I loved it. It's definitely one of my top gigs. I haven't heard it back though, but sometimes that's nice, isn't it? Just to remember how it was.
I think you're gonna like it. I think the sort of the personality of the gig really comes over especially with the video and the recording. So
yeah, I mean, I felt that to be serious, although I haven't heard it back. It sounds okay to me. It sounds like it does kind of represent what I do.
Yeah.
I guess it was a different experience for you than me, because you had to think about it all, and it was all your music and prepare all the parts and put the band together, and I just kind of rocked up and played some nice tunes with nice people. But it was lovely, and the people that turned up for to hear Bill's stuff was really lovely as well. It was a really nice night, I think, and the band it was so nice to have play such a big band. I have two basses. Yeah,
It's great to have Chooks as well. Chooks coming up from London, who I hadn't seen for years. Well, a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
A guy once said to me, Tom, you've got to take the rough and the smooth, and this is the smooth. I mean, I know that performing can be complicated, emotionally, but I thought you were great on the gig, Bill. I thought you were very funny and chat in the chat. It was
No, I get used to chatting now, and it makes it seem like I'm not. I find that's a good way to make it seem like I'm not as nervous, but I'm just as nervous. It's just I can chat because I mean, I don't know if you remember when well, you will do. It wasn't that long ago. When we used to play together, I never used to say anything.
Yeah,
because
you were a man of mystery.
Yeah, but then I realized that all you had to do was just pretend you were talking to one person, and it made it all easier. So I started being more kind of chatty. But it hasn't. The feeling of playing hasn't changed so much for me. I still find it hard going. Maybe it's because it's more and more, but it's, I still, I don't know, just playing live. I'm aware I'm like the weakest link in my own band, you know. Which
That's completely not true.
It's not true.
You're like this sort of mountain of beauty that's coming, that's in sort of concentric circles around you, you know.
No, but I mean on an actual playing level, though, I think that's not accurate. You know, I mean, I struggle with like playing jazz, but then in a way, I don't really want to.
Well, that was one of the questions I had for both of you, is to do with categorization. And I mean, your career, Bill, you're quite difficult to categorize, but Danielle, you seem to have this very sort of cross genre career, and I just wondered if you both consider yourselves jazz musicians or not, or what's your relationship with that word and that definition. And
Yeah, I mean, I think I consider myself, like, if I had to summarize it, like, I'd say like more like I'm an improvising tuba player who does jazz. Then like sometimes I'm a little bit like scared to like define myself as a jazz musician, because like I'm getting into improvising and all the different forms. But I don't have the depth of knowledge that like somebody who's a jazz musician, I would say, has. I'm getting there slowly, but you know. So I think maybe like, yeah, I like to say like I'm an improvising tuba player who works like in jazz and free improvisation, and like yeah, I find it quite hard to classify myself actually, and then sometimes
how did you get into tuba playing? What's your background?
Tuba, I always remember wanting to play the clarinet in school. I don't know why. And then brass lessons came to my school first. So I started when I was in like primary 5, primary 6 on cornet. And then tenor horn, and then I joined like the local youth brass band, and they needed tuba players. So I was like, I'll do it. I'll help the band.
Where was
that? In Elgate. Well, I went to school in Lossiemouth, like Kinloss, Lossie. And then the band was Murray Concert Brass. There's an amazing trumpet teacher up there called Glenn Monroe, who like does a lot for like community bands and stuff up there. So yeah, so like yeah, I started playing tuba like my first year of high school.
Okay.
Out of kind of coincidence, really. I don't think I was very good at tenor horn or cornet, to be fair. I wasn't really excelling. But yeah, it happens with a lot of tuba players. Like the band needed tubas, so I was like, I'll do it. And that was that, really. Yeah.
And Bill, how do you answer the question about, are you a jazz composer or a jazz musician? How do you feel about
that? I don't know really. I kind of thought at the beginning it was more like, I've always considered what I do as pop music, and then I got jazz players to play it, and it started sounding a bit more like jazz.
That was a terrible mistake, Bill.
Well, I needed somebody to play it that could improvise, and the best improvisers tend to be jazz players, I think. But I don't think that necessarily has to be the case. And I've tried to use people in the band that don't have a jazz background, but are still improvisers.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, even somebody like John Kenny, who's like going for more classical. I mean, it's ages since I've seen him and everything, but Danielle's knows him as well. It was a sort of mutual contact that we were. Well, I was kind of surprised. Yeah.
John, he was one of my teachers.
Yeah. And he's occasionally played in the octet.
Yeah.
But I didn't think, he wasn't like using jazz, like bebop language or stuff,
But your kind of influences, some of them are jazz composers, aren't they? So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But I think I like the ones that were more like, I like Gary McFarlane a lot, who's a name that doesn't come up very much. Do you know his stuff?
Oh.
That's what I mean.
Gary McFarlane.
Gary McFarlane. Yeah, he was an American arranger, composer, during the 60s, and he made a few. Maybe he worked with, you know, like Bill Evans, and you know, wrote various things, but he did some albums which were almost like music or something, you know.
Yeah.
They were like versions of Beach Boys songs and things like that, and they were. He didn't change them as much as some, you know, very often jazz, like really complicated harmonies and everything. Like he kept things pretty simple, but it was a very kind of subtle kind of voice that he added to these. I thought, and I like the fact that he kind of respected pop music enough to not feel that he wanted to make it really complicated.
Yeah.
And he was a vibes player as well. And his vibes plays, it's not like, you know, Gary Burton or something, but it's just very melodic and kind of, you know, very kind of like the definitive, you know, like the melodies he will improvise or you know, I take it he's improvising them. You know, they're nearly as good as the ones that he's, you know, from the song that he's on, sort of thing. So he was big, but that was, and also he did make a record which was kind of quite sort of Beatles influence of songs.
Right.
And I just like that kind of, I always like that sort of orchestral pop kind of thing, you know, arranging and pop music, like, you know, that David Bedford would do. Do you know him much?
No.
We worked with people like Madness and
Okay.
Roy Harper, Kevin Ayers. But he was also a classical composer. They did the orchestral arrangement of Tubular Bells.
Okay.
And it was just like a really interesting guy that, you know, coming from lots, you know, different places, sort of thing. So I suppose I kind of, these are the people that I would feel. Van Dyke Parks as well, you know, arrangers that I would feel kind of attracted to. Moondog, that are just kind of in a world of their own, you know. Hopefully.
Yeah, right.
You
Yeah,
know,
I think
that
that's
kind of
probably
thing.
if all the people that are in a world of their own can be put into one mega world, that I don't know if they can be in it. Can they be in one category?
Well, it's a bit like that thing of, you know, not wanting to be a member of any club that would have someone like me as a member.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, well, I'm going to come back to this question, but how did you two meet up and start working together? Because you seem to have a very kind of close bond, musical bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was
We finish each other's sentences. You can go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking for a tuba player. I was recording a record with Tom, not Tom Bancroft.
I was.
So I just
can't remember this at all.
Yeah, with Aidan Moffat.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And I was looking for a tuba player, and I had seen someone play also 10 years before that, but I thought I sort of logged it there, and I didn't even know who it was, but I managed to find out who it was, and it wasn't.
It wasn't me. It was Tim Cooper.
It was a guy called Tim Cooper.
Who?
Tim Cooper. He
Okay.
teaches.
Yeah, he's a composer. He used to play euphonium, but now he's a very great electroacoustic composer.
Okay.
So I got in touch with him, and then he suggested that Danielle. At that point he'd stopped playing so much to concentrate on composing and
But
teaching.
weren't you living next door to each other or something?
Well, this is the thing. We
Yeah,
found that we didn't know that until. So we'd been emailing each other back and forward for a fair bit.
And I'd met you, like I'd gone, so they needed a tuba player for the record, so I'd gone to Camp 19.
Yeah, Danielle
I recorded the record, met Bill, met Aidan, and then Bill was emailing me being like, "Oh, the record's ready, like, let me know where to drop it off."
But that's a slightly different. That was a slightly different one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you managed to know each other for an extended period without realizing you lived next door to each other.
Yeah, and then we bumped into each other.
Yeah.
And then you
But we
bumped
didn't.
into
But
each
that
other.
was a different. I think that's different. Your idea of that story.
Oh,
is
right.
different from mine.
Oh, right. What's your
But
idea?
did you see each
But-
other and go, she looks just like Danielle. That's weird. He looks just like Bill. That's weird.
Yeah.
5 years.
I
It
don't know.
wasn't too long.
It wasn't that long, but we did. I remember there was a day. Well, yeah, the day that you came into the studio. You know, I went through the studio that day myself, but we went through separately because we had no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it was like after the record had been made that
But after
we
the
bumped
record,
into each other.
yeah, but that was the difference because I remember having the record. The thing about that was it was a strange thing because I remember I emailed Danielle to say I had a copy of the record for her, and if she was in, I'll meet her downstairs like in 10 minutes.
Oh,
And you didn't
I
reply.
didn't reply.
And so I went downstairs because I was going out anyway. And it was just like, I can give you the record if you're in and there. But because you didn't reply, I assumed you weren't in. So I didn't take the record. But then we met. You came out. It was a funny thing because I emailed Danielle and we met at the same place I suggested to email it, in the email.
Yeah.
But Danielle didn't get the email.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, but we literally live around. Well, we used to.
Yeah,
I've
we
moved
used to,
now,
yeah.
but we literally used to live around the corner from each other. So yeah. And then and then that's kind of how the band started as well because we've been playing on your stuff with Aiden.
Yeah, so we wanted to sort of keep things going. We
Yeah.
didn't really. It wasn't like a specific idea of this is what it's going to sound like.
We were
'Cause I-
actually going to practice standards, remember?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
was like, speaking of not considering ourselves as jazz
Yeah,
players,
no.
I was like, I need to practice more standards.
And we did because I remember our first rehearsal and it was
Yeah,
it was like shit.
it was so bad. We were trying to play these standards, and we were like, what do we do? This is,
And I thought this is never going to work.
yeah.
Did you
And
say
I
that
was
though?
like,
Did you say that? Or did you... God, that's great. I bet we were thinking that.
Well,
I think we were both just like, oh,
I just hadn't worked out how to do it. Really, it was. Then we got the offer of a gig, supporting Anna Meredith, and that kind of focused our attention. We got like 6 weeks to put together a set, and I hadn't realized Danielle can do this kind of like the rhythmic stuff and all that kind of thing. So. Because I think ultimately, I didn't really think of this at the time, but it's because somebody else pointed this out that actually the contrast between like a low brass breath sound and a kind of middly kind of slinky percussive electric, they're almost like perfect files for each other because they're kind of almost like the opposite. And all these ways of thinking about them, they're almost like the opposite kind of instrument. So especially even just being electric guitars, with acoustic, sort of voice it is actually.
What's the name of the band?
It's called the Sensory Illusions. I had a dream that I was looking through. I was in a record shop and I was looking through records, and I found this record by the Sensory Illusions, and I woke up and I thought, that's when the next band I'm going to call the Sensory Illusions.
Were there photos of you and Danielle on the photo of the?
No, it wasn't quite.
This is before you'd met. Before you'd met her, there's like.
yeah, getting to him in a vision. Yeah.
No, I think it was after we.
Yeah.
Because I think probably we didn't have a name at the beginning.
No, and like it's all your music we're playing, so it's like so it was like seemed out to you like I've already kind of thought of a name for it, and I was like, okay, so.
And so, like, when you're doing that, is it all Bill Wells tunes or Danielle Price tunes, or what's the?
No, it's pretty much your tunes.
It's
just sort of always the way we've done it. So like. Yeah, so it's kind of like the way we always play Bill Wells music. I get like a rough sheet and I make something from it, I guess.
We've done. Well, there's one or two covers in there as well.
Yeah.
So it's like spy themes and yeah, I think it's a wee bit of a mix.
Yeah.
It was for me. It was partly an opportunity to concentrate on guitar because it's very well. It's obviously very exposed.
Yeah, because I think you were a bass player when I first met you.
Yeah, well, that's how I started out. Yeah, when I started in clubs playing bass, so that was the easiest thing to fake. But I'm not sure. Not sure it was right.
Drums is easier to fake, isn't it?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Well, as
really
an instrument to go, drums is probably easier.
You're definitely up the evolutionary.
Yeah.
On the bass.
Yeah.
So the dream thing.
Yeah.
It's quite a big part of your oeuvre. I don't know if I can say
it has become, especially more recent. Well, I discovered that I could sort of kind of initiate them by thinking. I mean, I can't do the sort of lucid dreaming thing, but
by drinking 17 pints of creme de menthe.
I found that if I thought I thought about it a lot, then there was more chance of them happening. So
it's like you're putting information in and then it comes out in a dream or something, or quite.
Well, yeah. Well, I was Alistair Campbell, who does the Counterflows Festival, commissioned me to write a piece for this project, Oto Wasabi project, which is a Japanese project where it's children with learning difficulties and professional musicians and the carers of these people as well. And it was a big it's like 40 people all came across. It's maybe about 10, more than that, 15 years ago. And they played in actually Otomo. Do you know Otomo Yoshihide?
Oh, you know the name, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was part of that, and he's actually one of my kind of total heroes as well. So, so I was really keen to be involved, and I was basically they use free improv as a kind of to sort of level the kind of playground sort of thing, and I wasn't sure what to do for a commission for this, because I didn't want to be anything too written but so I was kind of really struggling with coming up with anything. But then I thought I'll just for a month I'll think about it, and I'll write down my dreams for a month, and that's what I did. And bizarrely, they a lot of them were instrumentals. I made a sort of demo CD of it, kind of thing, just sort of 12 tracks, and each about a minute long. And there was one or two little songs in there, and there was things like "People There Behind Me," "People There Behind Me," things that did sort of relate to that subject, I thought. And there was one called "Doesn't Play," which and it was just the whole song is just doesn't play, and it was just so kind of appropriate, and it's almost like your subconscious seems to kind of process the thing and kind of out pop something that you wouldn't have thought of in your waking.
Do you ever get a dream thing that you go, nah, it's not, that stuff's not working, do you just always trust
that's because I get them all the time. So I mean that, like, most of them will
in the bin.
It's I mean, it depends. Also, I have to get out of bed, and that's quite a strong signifier of
what getting out of bed from.
That's one thing, is it? But then I always regret it. I always regret it if I don't just get out of bed.
I can also go to the fridge and get a snack. So I'm going to write this one down.
Yeah. But I have to. I find that I'm best to kind of actually kind of write it down as well, or at least have some kind of instrument or something on it, because the voice alone is not enough often for me to accurately hear what I'm meant to be. What I
I used
was.
to sing. I used to phone my answer phone from the mobile phone and sing into it
Yeah.
while I was driving.
All right. Yeah.
And then I get home and press play and it'd be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I knew it was a really good tune.
Yeah.
What I was hearing, but
Yeah.
I've just got like a sea of voice notes on my phone, very similar. It's just like yeah, and at the time it made sense, but yeah, you're like, oh.
Do you write as well, Danielle?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. In different guises. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's a few things to you.
Yeah, I've got like I'm doing some solo stuff. And I've got like a EP that I did with Cafe Otto's like online label Otoroku a few years ago. So that was kind of improv based with a bit of writing. And I've got a duo called Dopey Monkey with Martin Lee Thompson. So we write for that.
What's that called again?
Dopey Monkey, tuba and euphonium. And then we have a bigger band called Pela with Adrian Ortman on drums and David Swan on keys. And so we all kind of write for that as well. Yeah, so like I'm slowly writing more and more actually, which is nice. Like, yeah.
Where's the best place for people to go and hear that?
Bandcamp probably. We've got some stuff on like streaming services. Dopey Monkey has a website as well where you can kind of find all of our projects.
So can you spell the first word?
Dopey, Dopey.
Dopey
Yeah.
Monkey, right?
Dopey Monkey. We made it up in the early days of the band and thought we would change it, but it's too late now.
And how
But
do
we
you
like
spell
it.
Taylor? Is that just Taylor?
It's a Swedish word, so Pejla. Yeah. So
What?
Pejla, Pela. Yeah, so that band's just getting going. We played at the Glasgow Jazz Festival, Jazz at the Glad, just in June there, which was very, very nice. Yeah, so, and I've got like a wee solo set that I'm working on as well, so I'm trying to write more for.
Danielle played in Tectonics.
I did that, yeah.
This year.
I'm doing a night called Tfe at Edinburgh Fruit Market Gallery, like an experimental night in a couple of weeks. Yeah, so bits and pieces really. Yeah.
Awesome. So the thing I was wanting to come back to, well, Bill, I've got a question for you. Is how did you get into music originally?
I just like listening to music, and then I thought there wasn't enough stuff to listen to. So
Well, I mean,
I better make some.
What age did you start listening to music?
Well, just like in my teens and everything, you know.
And what about your family? Were they into music?
Not particularly, no.
So was there music in the house?
Not anything that I would have really listened to. You know, it was kind of, yeah. No, it wasn't the sort of family background thing. Didn't really influence it at all. I would have said, you know, it was just, yeah, I'm just like listening to music, and then for a while I thought, well, I wasn't going to play it, and then I thought, I see how. The funny thing was, I mean, I still don't regard myself as very musical. So it's been tough.
Is that like a sort of? I mean, that's a very interesting statement.
Yeah.
Is that a kind of negative? You know, we all have these negative voices that we've sort of imposter syndrome kind of thing.
Yeah, I know.
Is it actually what you really think, or is it just the negative part?
No, I think it's well. Like, I mean, I've thought it for long enough. I mean, it might be wrong, but I just always found it. No, I mean, you know, I speak to people that are more musical. I mean, you're more musical than I am. I think.
It depends how you define musical.
I think it depends on how you define musical.
Yeah, well, just kind of natural kind of talent.
You mean like playing it? Is that what you mean? Like the playing of it?
Playing, yeah, I suppose it does come down a lot to that. Yeah, maybe more to do with the playing. It's just, I mean, I was naturally good at drawing, and I kind of thought, and I suppose people, that knew how good I was at doing that, thought that would be the thing I would do because I was so good at it. But then I just.
You thought that's going to be too easy. I'm going to choose something I can't do. Did you draw the elongated cat?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Thanks.
Well, did you do music at school? Did you have music lessons?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Primary school, secondary school, nothing.
No, nothing.
Wow.
So at least I did. I mean, I spent quite a while in the when I was reading books. I just read books about it, and then I did spend quite a long time wondering what the bit before the kind of first page was in a book, because it never seemed to start right at the beginning for me. So I was just asking really basic questions about why there are black notes and white notes and all this kind of stuff, and a lot of things that are just sort of taken for granted in music. So it confused me for a long. Well, it still does, but it confused me for a long time. I think there are advantages of doing it that way. I've it's just sometimes I meet people and I think, yeah, you're much more musical than I am. You can sing, well, for instance, like singing harmonies or something like that. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a great singer.
It could be fun.
Sorry?
I'd like to hear you try.
Yeah, well, yeah. You don't want to.
That could be a Thank You Illusions album. Because Danielle's you've got a beautiful voice. So.
Oh, thank you.
You could sing and Bill could sing harmony.
Yeah, we could.
I'd pay to hear that.
Yeah.
But I mean, things like that, I mean, some people just can do that naturally. And I'm finding it impossible.
But I think you have a different kind of creativity and musicality than like for example, for me, I've gone I did lessons in school and I studied tuba and you get taught to
college, Danielle.
Yeah. So I did, I guess, classical tuba, the Bmas and the Mmas. And I started to kind of get into improv a bit later on towards the end of my studies. Yeah. So, but yeah, so I very much studied tuba. But what I think is really lovely about what you make is it's very intuitive and I've learned a lot from being in the duo, especially when I was coming out of music college and not quite feeling like I was gonna fit into the traditional spaces for tuba. I didn't really see myself getting an orchestral job and all these things. Yeah. So it was at that point it was really nice for me to meet Bill and work with him and meet people through you as well and discover this whole other world of music making that I didn't even know existed. Right. And discover different ways of making music and ways, because I've always been quite frustrated. I've always wanted to write, but I've always had that barrier of well, I'm not a composer and I don't know harmony well enough. And then you're well, actually, it doesn't really matter too much. You just get something out and it's beautiful. So yeah, I think it depends on how you define musicality. There's trained musicality, natural instinct, and but
it's just kind of more naturally, good at something, and in the way I was good at drawing. I didn't feel I was
right. No, I know what you mean. I mean, I get what you're saying, but there's this other kind of musicality which is to do with accepting the creative, the sort of jagginess and the mystery of it, the creative process, and sort of being able to sit with it. And it can be very emotionally abrasive and difficult, that life of sitting with the question mark of it. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to somebody about after the gig that we did about why it was so good, and we ended up. It was something to do with your music's not about. A lot of music's about mastery and control and sort of virtuosic sort of control, and your music's not about that at all. It's about kind of finding these moments of beauty and these kind of little angles on reality and life, and it's all like titles and everything. It's all kind of consistent, and it's very, very beautiful. It's like a wonderful
thank you.
worldview that you have. Music, and you present it through music, and it's really very special, I think.
Oh,
anyway.
thanks. Yeah, I mean, well, hopefully it's all one thing, you know. I mean,
and how do you think the world understands your music?
but I think if you kind of do things with using different kind of genres, then it is kind of, in a way, it's almost like the worst thing you can do if you want to be successful.
Yeah,
you know.
You don't fit into boxes very well.
Yeah. So I think that does make it, and I do like, you know, free improv right up to, you know, like bubblegum pop.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I also I tended to like bands that would actually combine, you know, the both, which makes it even, you know, less easy to pigeonhole, I think. So I think I think that's been one thing where it would, even if you're just, you know, more kind of extreme free improv or something, if that's what you do consistently, then it's, you know, probably got more chance than I have.
Yeah. Oh,
you know, than you know, because then when I do something that's free improv, you know, I did an album with Judge Fair.
I remember the review in the list.
Yes, yeah.
You got to admit, it's a great review. I mean, it's
I thought it was great. Yeah.
Extreme. Was it 0?
It got no stars. I looked at the first time I looked at it, I thought it's got 5 stars. But it was actually 5 little dots where the stars would be if there were any stars. There was no stars.
Yeah.
And I said, this is not music. This is an insult to the human ear.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, the sort of thing Stuart Lee, the comedian, puts things like that on his, you know, he uses them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think you you kind of like confusing people sometimes. So like,
well, I was very pleased that I got that really bad review. I mean, that sort of, I mean, I can understand that it's not, there's no tunes in that record. Well, I mean, I don't know. There are melodic things. It's not a record of tunes though. I quite like, I like the idea of doing something to annoy people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
which is maybe not the
National Jazz Trio of Scotland.
Well, yeah, National Jazz Trio of Scotland. Well, that was the name. That was the name. Although it was just to do with the fact that you can call a band anything you want, you know, and it doesn't have to relate to the name at all.
Yeah, no, I thought it was very satirical. I liked it.
Yeah.
But
sorry.
I'm sort of pissed off with the Scottish jazz scene because my definition of jazz massively includes everything that you do.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that is very much what jazz is about. It's taking a love of pop music or whatever.
I would agree. Yeah.
With improvisation and with intelligent kind of creativity and defying categorization to some extent. And I just feel like the Scottish jazz scene's never quite known what to do with you, and a lot of the people just didn't see you as being in their, you know, in their field of vision, and it sort of always pissed me off. But
thanks. I appreciate your support and that you asked me to do this. You know, I do.
But then you kind of got massively recognised by the sort of indie pop kind of scene, which is way bigger than the jazz scene, and you know that was kind of beautiful that happened.
Yeah, that felt well. In a way, it was I was kind of pushed in that direction, to be honest. You know,
against your will, you know, into success and world fame.
Yes.
Well, so,
speaking of which, can I don't know when this is going to go out, but just I know this is way too long anyway. You're going to have to edit it, aren't you?
No, it's not. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
the podcast version can be as long as we want.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I meant for the actual for the
interview bit in the gig. If you're plugging something, I'll put it in. Yeah,
because I've got a gig on the 31st of July at the Glad Cafe. That's it's another Dreams record.
Glad Cafe.
Yeah,
great.
On the 31st July, and Norman Blake and Abby Williami are going to be performing.
Wonderful. Danielle, have you got anything to plug?
I've got a solo set on the 26th of July at Edinburgh Fruit Market. It's a night called Fest, experimental music night. So I'll be doing half an hour of something there, some free improv and some wee tunes, I think. Yeah, I think that's the next thing.
Yeah. That's during the jazz festival, but it's not a part of it, is it?
No, it's because it clashed with the jazz festival gig, so I was a bit glad. But yeah, it's not part of it. But yeah. So free stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you a lot. Thanks so much for coming on, and thanks for playing. Thanks for the gig. Absolutely love the gig. And
well, thanks for asking. I really appreciate your support, Tom.
Well, it's I've been asking for like quite a while, haven't I, Bill? And it's like,
well, yeah, that's true. But I was very ill.
Yeah, I know.
I know. And it was related to that.
I know you were finding playing difficult.
Yeah. And I mean, I still do, but I mean, basically, I managed to get through the gig without having a nervous breakdown. So
that's a win.
Yeah, absolutely.
You look quite stressed when you first arrived.
And, yeah, I would be. Oh, yeah, well, it was just like getting across Edinburgh, and it was carrying these my guitar and the amp. It was heavy. It was a stressful day, to be honest. Yeah. Also, maybe I shouldn't mention it. Well, I've gone blind in one eye.
Have you?
Yeah, which is a bit of a it's a bit of a drag.
That's a bit of a drag, yeah.
Yeah, and so I can't see. So when I got into the loft space, you can miss this bit out if you want. I couldn't see properly, especially because of the light coming. I could see things that are illuminated with this eye. This eye's not great. This eye's absolutely.
Have you thought about dressing up as a pirate?
Well, I was thinking it's because it's become so useless. I think I could. It was a pity because I could maybe have done that today. I was thinking I could have,
come on as a pirate.
Come on as with the eye patch.
We'll have to re-record the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, I could probably add it on in post-production.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you could, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give me one as well? Just like.
You want one as well?
Yeah, why not?
Parrot
uniform.
Can I have a parrot or no parrot?
A wee parrot would be nice. Yeah. Thanks.
And then you have to
that'd be great. That'd be great if you could do that, Tom. It would be.
And a wooden leg, obviously. Yeah. I'll see what I can do, but I mean, I think I'm not sure if we've got the budget for it to do it really well. I think I've got the ability to do it really, really badly.
Yeah.
But yeah. So well, thanks a lot for everything, and hopefully we will make music again
soon
before the end of it all.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And I mean that to both of you as well.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah,
it'd be great.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video of the gig when this will be part of that. So I hope you enjoy it. All right.
Nice to see you.
Lots of love. Thanks a lot.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.